Well, thank you very much for the nice introduction. But actually, I'm just going to moderate a brilliant session with a very interesting panel. This session will be joined by Vânia Roberto, which is the CEO from Aging Better, a collaborative laboratory from University of Algarve and other partners, and also Sérgio Menezes Pina, the CEO from AuroraMed Limited, a very interesting and expanding company in the health sector, and Erika Viegas from Infarmed. Infarmed. I'm really sorry. This is kind of so. These are the ones that are the experts for this session. I'm just trying to help them think here in terms of how can we all together understand and bring science, innovation and regulation all together. How can we do something in terms of trying to put our ideas, the ideas that really deserve to be put in place when we are talking about healthcare. So for this reason, and because we all want to try to transform research into products that eventually can be used by all of us, and products that really need to comply with a lot of regulations and complex regulation. These brilliant people here will help us to do a discussion. It is also a discussion not only interesting internationally, but also nationally and specifically here for our region, where we really want to have incentivize and the healthcare sector. So, with no further delongs, thank you very much for being here with us. And actually what I really would like to hear, and I would really enjoy if you can, well, from in one moment to present yourself briefly for all the audience, trying to share a little bit of all your experience, and also trying to give us here in terms of how do you personally see this interaction between science, innovation, and regulation on your daily activities. So please, Vânia, if you can, please.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, hello everyone. So my name is Vânia Roberto. I'm today the CEO of ABC CoLAB. So I started my path in, so my professional path in a company. Not in science. Then I shift to science because I started a master's degree, and when I did my thesis, I did a partnership between the company that I was working in and science, and I fall in love with science. Why? Because it's about curiosity, it's about discovering something that we don't know and don't understand, and that really fascinated me. But probably most of you know that science in Portugal, it's not really an easy path. And so for me, one of the biggest challenges was, and also because I also had my company, so I think I have this entrepreneur spirit. And so for me, science always lacked this kind of challenge. So when I could combine my experience with companies, with the science that I was exploring. So I have a PhD in biomedicine that spans 20 years of experience between genetics, epigenetics, molecular biology. And today, so we focus on ABC CoLAB. So it's a collaborative laboratory. I don't know if you know what it is, a collaborative laboratory. So we are a three-helix ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. So we bring together academia, industry, but also municipalities that represents the society and the communities. And so we combine all of this into transferring the discovering that we do on the academic field into real world solutions, okay? And we work on health and longevity specific. So for me, science is the groundbreaking foundation where we get the knowledge. Innovation, it's where we are able to apply that knowledge and really transform these scientific discoveries into solutions that people can actually and we can improve health span and quality of life. And of course, regulation, I think it brings trust, and it's important for that as well.
Thank you very much. And Sergio, your perspective has a...
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
and allow me to share the stage with these amazing women here. I think Vânia just said it all, but I will try to complement. My name is Sérgio. I am a physician. I have been working in intensive care for the last 10 years, so nothing to do with technology directly. But I try to go on my day-to-day business as a doctor, and I try to identify every gap, every inefficiency. I try to listen closely to patient stories about their own experience in the healthcare system to try to identify points of possible innovation. And I believe that startups, especially in the healthcare ecosystem, have to work as translators. They have to identify daily pain points of patients and healthcare workers and try to develop scalable solutions from that. But the thing is, startups unfortunately cannot do that alone. It is impossible. It is even illegal for them to do that in the healthcare system. Because medical data is very complex. Medical records, as you know, obviously belong to the patient, but the intellectual property of those records belong to the healthcare professional that writes them, and all of those records are kept in systems that belong to hospital and healthcare providers and clinics, etc. So, in order to use that data for innovation, as we do at AuroraMed, where I am one of the founders and CEO, we have to work together with a lot of stakeholders, with a lot of players. We have to engage with medical communities that specialize in medical coding, for instance. We have to speak and build bridges with hospital administrations and allow them to see us as a partner that can streamline their process. We have to work with universities and with institutions like ABC CoLAB and work closely with their researchers in order to optimize our own algorithms. And in the end of the day, we have to comply with regulatory norms that are very, very strict. National and European regulatory norms, we have to comply with GDPR laws, with the EU AI Act, and a bunch of other laws specific to the medical field. So to answer your first question, yeah, in order to deploy innovation in healthcare specifically, you have to create this ecosystem. We have to bring all of us together. And the point is, to deploy that innovation, the topic is not disruption, it is dialogue. You have to dialogue with all these partners and bring them together to the table.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your insight, Sergio. And Erika, what about Infarmed? So
yes.
Regulations.
So from the regulator point of view, first of all, let me just thank the invitation to be here. It's a pleasure to be here in Lagos. I'm from the Algarve, so it's a double pleasure to be here in my hometown. Well, at Infarmed, we are becoming more open to what Sergio said. So we want to bring startups, innovators, academic institutions to work with us because we really think it's really important to comply with the regulations since the beginning of a project, not only at the end, because that will delay innovation and that will turn the path difficult. So I think that science is moving very fast and regulation will have to stand up to that. We have now medicines that are living cells. We have viruses that treat genetic conditions. We also have softwares that can turn the life of a physician or a patient really easy and can improve the way that we provide healthcare. So regulation needs to become simpler, more agile, but also to continue to ensure that we have technologies and medicines and medical devices that are safe, effective, and trustful. So that's, I agree with Sergio when he said that we need to work together and we need to be more open so that we don't go on parallel pathways. We have to join, and we think here in this kind of event it's a great way to create those bridges and to start talking about this thing. And I think also that ABC CoLAB here in the Algarve, it's a great institution that tried to join together scientists, innovators, startups, and also I think it's a path that I think that the regulation part of the regulators need to be engaged also from the beginning of the work. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Erika, for your insight. So from research to the market, this is the perspective that puts us here all together in this panel, trying to identify where is the research, what kind of research can we transform into a product that will be able to serve everyone in the market, in the health sector. So for you, Vânia, in terms of how the ABC CoLAB, the collaborative laboratory, how do you try to use all your partnerships? How has an institution that is an interface between science and the market? How do you try to overcome some of the main barriers, or what kind of barriers do you identify? And how do you help also research coming in a faster way, in a more high way, into the market on the health care sector? Are you able to share some insights with us, please?
Yeah, so regarding the barriers, I think we have some. So science, when we talk about basic science, so we don't think about scalability, we didn't think about the end user mindset. So that's a problem in fundamental science. And in the collaborative laboratories like ABC CoLAB, what we try to do is exactly that. So do more applied science thinking forward into that mindset. What we want to achieve with this specific, of course, we have to have that foundation, but that it's academic centers and universities' jobs. Our job is to really make a step forward from that. So, and we work, like Sergio said, with companies. So we don't only work with our companies in our CoLAB, but we also extend our collaborations to external partners. For instance, we work with AuroraMed in order to improve our data integration. We are living in a world where we have a lot of data. We work with genetic, epigenetics, metabolomics, omics. I think that will be a big word. We don't have enough time in our lifetimes, all of us together, to analyze all the data that we have. So we need really to have quantum computing and so on to analyze this kind of data. We don't have that knowledge, but we partner with partners that have it. So that's also an important point. Then I think we have the challenge of fragmentation, because as Sergio and Erika was saying, I think that scientists think and have their mindset in one place. Doctors have in another one. Doctors, clinicians, health professionals, and regulators and business people. And we need to bring all of them into the same table to discuss the same subject, because that's no point in us investigating something that a doctor doesn't need, that a citizen doesn't need. So we think we need to integrate all of this. And I think integration, it's a key point here, and combining everything.
Thank you very much, Vânia. And Sergio, as a physician, as an entrepreneur, and how do you see the role of startups, and how is it possible to connect all the regulations, the existing regulations, with the healthcare system and with the providing new products on this sector? How do you see this dialogue, and can you share some example where this connection that leads some innovative product to the market, and where you had to have that dialogue with the regulatory entities? How would that work?
Well, in a simple answer, it is very difficult. It is a nightmare. But I can share you an example, of course. I can even share the pain I have been going through the last few months with AuroraMed. Well, at AuroraMed, our flagship product is Argus. It is a software that generates accurate medical coding after reading medical records. And that's very important because every medical act generates data, like surgical procedures, diagnosis, prescriptions, and all of that data has to be translated into international standardized coding for insurance purposes, for billing, and for research. And right now, that work is mostly manual. So it is very slow, very, very slow, very error-prone, and doctors stop what they are doing. They stop attending patients, speaking with patients, comforting patients, to read medical records and to generate this coding. But to develop Argus, we had to first engage with the medical communities that specialize in medical coding. So we have to develop the tools with them first. And then, after that, we had to go to hospital administrations, in the private and in the public sector, and show them the software and ensure them we can comply with the regulations. But to ensure that we can comply with regulations, we have to use that software with their medical data in order to be certified in that capacity. But they ask us the certification first. So we first have to go to the regulatory boards and ask them to certify a software that they demand to see in action first. So it is very complex. We have been working with our partners. We have been building data lakes for ourselves to show how compliant software is, how safe it is, how trustworthy it is, and how transparent it is on handling that information, that critical information. And then after those artificial data lakes, after the usage on that artificial data lakes, we have been able to show administrations that the software is secure, it's safe, and can actually optimize those processes. But yeah, short answer is a regulatory nightmare to try to navigate all these rules. Yeah.
I hope Erica will give us the answer and will try to facilitate this connection. So Erica, you have some insights, and in particular, so regulation is often seen as a barrier, clearly, and it seems that companies and startups are also struggling to cross that barrier. Do you have any kind of secret? How do you see if there is any kind of
I wish I had.
enabler? Any kind of, I think this is a first step that we are also engaging here, three different representatives of three different actors and players. But please share a little bit of your vision in terms of how can regulation be a key enabler for in order to incentivize innovation, and do you think that Portugal is moving forward on that level? What is being done in order to clearly incentivize innovation through the support of these kinds of initiatives?
Okay, so thank you for the questions. So we all want regulation to be objective, transparent, proportionate, consistent, and to have a few controls that are needed to ensure that the device or the medicine is safe and effective, as mentioned before. I think we have 5 main challenges. We have too much regulation, different ones. So if you want to certify a medical device, you have to comply with the MDR, the Medical Devices Regulation. If it has artificial intelligence, you have to comply with the Artificial Intelligence Act, probably with RGPD also, and many, many regulations. So we need to if we want, on the other side, we have the technological evolution is very rapid, it's fast forward. So we need to ensure that the regulatory path goes at the same speed. The other challenge, I think it is the post-market surveillance. After the device is on the market, how are we going to be able to monitor its effectiveness and the safety of that device? The fourth challenge, I think it is financing. How do we define price, and how does the health system going to reimburse those devices and those new technologies? And of course, data security and privacy and everything everything. So at Infarmed, we had the beginning of this year a change in the way that we work, just trying to address these new challenges and to get closer to startups and new companies and the innovators. So we already have our scientific and regulatory advice office. It's working many years ago, and its activity is growing. We also created, or we are establishing, a task force for innovation in the future, and we want to engage with startups and bring them inside Infarmed to express their needs and to turn regulations more agile. We also have established a medical and digital technologies unit to evaluate the healthcare technologies in terms of financing and reimbursement. And we also are engaging with other regulators of other areas like AI, artificial intelligence and everything, so that and to try to establish a regulatory sandbox where we can bring institutions and innovators to us, and so that they can test their new solutions in a controlled environment under regulatory supervisions, to avoid what Sérgio just said, that the device has to be certified before it has been tested. So that's a few things, but I don't know if we have...
That's really amazing, and I'm really happy that we are actually hearing this through Erica and the behalf of Infarmed. So it is very good news. I think that startups and now the collaborative laboratories as ABC can actually have here a bridge to try to simplify all these procedures, so complex procedures. So I think that we are now getting into an end. I don't know if we have time for some questions. Only one, not even one. Okay, so anyway, I think the good news is that we actually have here brilliant minds that are helping us to find new products, new solutions, new markets, a different vision, a vision that the Algarve is also embracing, and we look forward to have here all our startups, all our new spin-offs from ABC CoLAB, and also from the University of Algarve engage with lighter regulations from Infarmed. Thank you very much. Thank you, audience, for this session. Thank you. Obrigada. Obrigada.